what do I love about it, what do I hate about it, and what scares me about it. So you can take that and like, what scares you about being Latina?
Well,
like getting pregnant or
stabbing someone in broad daylight and getting caught.
No more chorizo?
That was good. I didn't know where he was going with it, but that was good.
It's not crazy loud right now. It's nice.
It's a good vibe. Good vibe.
Can you relate?
Guys, we're here. There's a little more estrogen in the room today. So we have a guest, as you can probably tell if you're watching and listening. Got a little giggle. Episode 178, The Relatables.
178.
Yeah.
He is your host.
Talking to the mic. Bring it up a little bit more for me. There you go, Bubba. All right, perfect.
He is your host.
At Zach Malcolm on Instagram. Your other host, at D Nimic on Instagram. Give us a follow, give us a like, give us a shout out. Thank you. And that brings us to perfect mic placement, Dean. You got it. That brings us to our guest.
What's my name? What?
Of the evening, of the afternoon. We usually shoot in the evening. That's why I'm a little off kilter right now.
Oh, I threw it off. Okay,
I'm a
that's
little
my
off
bad.
focus, but it's fine. Do you want to introduce yourself? How do you say your last name?
How do you think I say it?
Gallo.
Gallo.
You have way too much trust in me. No, I just say it as Gallo. I'm
Gallo.
Morgan Gallo.
The lovely Morgan Gallo is on at Mama of Jokes on Instagram, correct?
Yes, thank you for remembering.
I did.
appreciate
You
the
can't forget
shout-out.
Mama of Jokes on Instagram.
No.
Give her a
Just the way
shout
it
out.
is.
Yeah, give her a follow. What do you do? Who do you work for?
You know, I have many enterprises in my life right now. I'm following several paths.
Yeah?
I think it's interesting you asked that. 'Cause,
Okay.
You know,
All
you
right.
know several of them.
That was the one thing we couldn't talk about pre-show. Don't bring up what I do. What do you
It's
do?
okay.
What is your newfound hobby? Why are we
Comedy.
talking right now? That's
We
what we're
met-
talking. We finally got there. We're
yes,
here.
we met because Dean stalked me in this cafe, and I couldn't get away from him. So I was like, "Hey, I'm Morgan."
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's
The
why.
CBD show.
Yes.
I went up to him and I was like, "What's your Instagram?"
Oh shit.
We
Yeah.
linked. It was the CBD. I didn't even know if I was gonna go. Showed up. It was a pretty good show. Like
Yeah.
It was
better than
fun.
I expected for a show back. Saw her there. Saw a couple other comedians there. Was like, this girl's got some juice.
Well, you
This guy's got
were
stuff.
probably one of the funnier people there, and that's why I was like, "Oh, okay." Because usually when you go there, it's a little like hit and miss.
Yeah.
But
So when I saw you, I was like, oh, "Okay, he's good." Like it seemed like you had experience, and I'm like all about finding like networking opportunities.
How long
you
have you been
go.
doing it? I don't even know how long.
My first performance was I think like middle of July.
Oh shit.
But I
So
took
recent.
a class for like 4 weeks. You know, you do like a 4-week session, and then the end of the class, you like do an open mic, and I just didn't stop doing it after that.
did you do any open mics before the class?
No.
Looking back, do you think you would have done all right before the class?
Yeah, I mean, I tried to write jokes, but it was more of just like me writing like my thoughts. So I would have
Okay.
gotten on the mic and probably just talked and
Fair
just
enough.
tried to be funny rather than understanding like the structure of a joke and having a punchline.
Trying to go all personality and no
Right.
material.
And no, yeah, exactly. So
Okay.
now I feel a little bit more confident. I mean, it's obviously like a learning process. Like you have
For
nights
sure.
where you're like fucking bombed.
What month is it
but-
right now? July, August,
September.
September.
It's only 2 months. Wow, that's crazy.
2
You've been hitting it
months.
hard though. I've seen your Instagram. A lot of spots been hit.
Yeah.
In the 2 months.
Yeah.
So and like you're kind of like a go-getter with it. I feel like
Oh,
no one.
absolutely.
You go to a lot of these mics and a lot of comedians are very like to themselves. Like it would take like a month for someone to come up and like talk to you like you did, Dean. So it's kind of like interesting that
What are you
you
trying to say, dude?
are very. No,
one
it's like
talks
it's
to
cool. It's refreshing. It's like there's a new cool girl on the scene and she's like trying to do things and really go for it.
I
and-
get really like, I don't know, dude. I think it's just when you find something that you're passionate about. I mean, we talked about this at the Shark Club. Like, you're like, I don't know if I want to do comedy. And I'm like, do you wake up thinking about it though?
Oh, yeah, I
Because
did
that's when
remember
you
that.
know you're like meant to do something. It's
Yeah.
like when you can't go to bed at night or when you're like, it's the first thing you think of in the morning.
Yeah.
And that for me is what comedy is, even though I really have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just kind of like pushing through and figuring it out.
That's the best part.
True.
It is like a constant there. And then since Thursday, I haven't been up in like 6 months until Thursday. I've been like buzzing since then. It's insane.
I know you were so stoked after you got off stage.
Yeah.
It was cool to see.
Like, I wouldn't have been that stoked if I were you, but
No, I mean, I
were
thought it was
happy, you
cool
were-
though. Yeah, because it's especially at a studio where people are there to learn and you meet other comics. Like, you never know how people like have gotten there, how they feel.
Yeah.
I think too often people get off stage and they're like, oh man, like I'm so like they're hard on themselves. Whereas you were just like, yeah, dude, like I feel good. He looked over at me and he was like, I feel so fucking good right now. And I was like, okay, shit.
felt like I was on drugs, dude. Because I really didn't want to do it. Honestly, like
You didn't?
that whole day, I was like,
but I hyped him up.
Dang, dude.
I was like dreading it all day. I was like going over notes. I was like, this is gonna be shit. I don't have anything like
Yeah.
good or new or whatever. And then
Yeah,
I
what
just-
did you do? New or old?
all?
or-
I mean, it was like half and half.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Talked
I
about
mean,
porn a lot. It was great.
oh wow, yeah, I did.
oh wow.
Yeah, but I mean, it was just like it felt like I belonged. Like it felt like in the first time for the first time in a while that like I had something to look forward to.
Right.
And there hasn't been like a lot to look forward to. That's why I've been sad. That's why I haven't. But it's like a snowball. Like you'll get sad, not want to do comedy, and then, but if you just do it, you'll get out of that sadness. But like the more sadness that builds up, it's harder to like get back to do it.
But you're in there now.
I'm in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing comedy. We're back
Are you
on
sad?
the mic.
Are you a sad person, Morgan?
Do I come across as a sad
No.
person?
But usually,
Extremely.
like you seem really happy, which is a red flag.
Oh, okay. It's just the amount of cocaine I snort every morning. It's
Oh,
really what it
wow.
is.
Breakfast.
Yeah.
Dopamine on dopamine. Wow.
Okay.
No, I just like don't. I don't know. It's interesting because like now that I used to be a dancer growing up, so I know what it's like to be in the industry and get shit on all the time and like do auditions and not get the part. So I'm like used to that rejection. So now that I'm in comedy and I'm actually kind of doing well,
Yeah.
I'm definitely like happy about it. I mean, there are days that suck, but like I think I'm genuinely a happy person. I don't know.
Yeah, you seem bubbly.
Maybe it's weird. I don't know.
Yeah,
Are
a little
girls
bit.
supposed to
That's
be
good.
like mopey and
No, it's
sad?
weird.
His girls.
Ooh, Zach's girls.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, I don't know. I just feel like most comedians, they are. You see, like people like Kevin Hart and like super big comedians, they're very happy and bubbly. But most comedians are like really dark, so it's weird whenever you see like a
That's
chipper
true.
person. Yeah, it's good.
It's good. It's good. You're happy.
It's good. What have you been up to, Dean? How was your week?
I've been working.
Yeah.
I'm finally kind of only working one job right now,
Nice.
which feels good.
We had-
I've been working 3 jobs for like the past
Dang.
8 months.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, we
So-
can't talk about your job. Let's not even bring up jobs.
Yeah, it's not even work. This is
my
all. This is
gosh.
work
Oh my
talk.
gosh.
There's supposed to be a balance in life, and it's all pleasure with this guy.
You have a lot of friends that come out and see you. Do you worry about saying certain things in front of them that would make you look different in
To
their
be
eyes?
honest, no.
Have
I
you
don't really
roasted a
care.
friend yet?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do you mean roasted? Like to their face
Well,
at a show?
No, but I do have a funny story that I think you would enjoy about a guy I dated. That is in my
Okay.
first set. It's
All right.
not really like his long story, but basically there was a guy that told me probably back in June, like, you're not funny enough to do stand-up comedy.
Perfect.
And I kind of, yeah. And I was kind of like, you suck. So let's maybe not date. And
Yeah.
he was just a douche. Like, we went on one date. It was like a Hinge thing, stupid.
Wait, did you bring up I want to do comedy, or did he just?
Yeah, I told him, hey, like, I've been thinking about this lately, and to be honest, I don't know why. All of a sudden, one day, I was like, maybe I should try this, and then I Googled, comedy classes,
Yeah.
work, whatever, and I signed up for a class, and I went, and I said to him before we were kind of over, like, hey, I'm gonna do this, and he was like, okay, good luck. And so I went through it, and I wrote this whole story, and I worked through these parts about it, but the main joke was that there was a guy that I had met on Hinge, and he used to keep a list of the things he hated about people in the notes
That's
app on
insane.
his iPhone. I think you watched this set that I did
Maybe.
on my Instagram, and it's
Okay.
the first one I ever did, and I talked about how like he says that he doesn't like dancers because they don't have self-respect and they post like gross pictures on Instagram and all this stuff.
Was he Mormon?
No,
Then
he's
let's
just a
bring it on.
douchebag, and he was like telling me I wasn't funny enough to do stand up. So anyway, I put this up. People are like, "This is great, keep going, whatever." 2 months later, this happened like last week. He messages me, and by this point, like I've unfollowed him, like I'm not about it. He's still following me, and he's like, "Hey, like so stoked to see you're doing comedy. You're doing really well. thanks for the shout out during the first set.
No.
Glad I could give you material. And I saw that and I was like, this bitch thinks that he made
We
me
got to
funny.
take that out of the
Yeah.
set.
Because and so I DM'd back and I was like, yeah, thanks. Fuck boys tend to give me the best material on stage. And he got like so butthurt, and then he unfollowed me and blocked me, and I'm like,
Nice, good
That's
how the
insecurity
cookie
right there.
crumbles.
Insecurity.
So that's the only person that I ever like, and I like named him on stage. Like his name is Chaz, but I called him Chad in the set.
You should have. I was generous.
Chaz was the first red flag, though. Anyone named Chaz?
Oh, absolutely.
What's that from? The movie growing
Absolutely.
up. He like nicknamed. His like alter ego was Chaz.
Charlie's
check?
Angels.
Blank check.
It's the Chaz.
Chaz. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah.
Yeah, he probably said it like that too.
Chaz.
But anyway, no, there's nothing I won't say unless it's. I mean, I literally have a joke about like fucking my dad. Like,
Have
you know
your
what I mean?
parents
do.
seen your comedy?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
My parents haven't seen my comedy.
But your
Yeah.
comedy is pretty clean for the. I've seen like, maybe not.
It's not the best.
I
I
just
have
don't
some
want.
extended stuff that's just not to parents.
I don't
stuff.
think you're worried about them, like not finding you or being clean. I just think I want to be good whenever my parents see me. Like I don't want them to
absolutely.
see me yet, so I'm like waiting. I feel like that's why you're waiting too. Like you want to be better.
I just don't think the things that I talk about on stage I don't talk about with them, so I just think it'll be a shock to be like, oh, this is what he thinks about.
So you're not yourself
sometimes.
around your parents?
I am, but everyone's a different self around their parents.
I'm not.
Okay. You have a good
I feel
relationship
like more
with
me.
your parents.
Yeah. My parents are the cool parents, so like it's whatever.
I can see that. I can see that.
Oh, it's
I
not
feel
good.
like you're the,
It's not
no,
good
no,
that you
no,
can see
I
that.
just, no. I can see that you like, because you're calm about it. When you talk about it, you're not like, oh shit, my parents.
I don't.
Like,
Yeah, there's
you know
no
what I mean?
shame or anything.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
I can
how
say
I
whatever.
am. Yeah. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
The privilege. It's just
Yeah. Why don't you just be cool with your parents, man?
no.
Fuck
There's so
you.
much shame associated with. I don't know. It's just not a. Never was like that.
Oh, because
There was always a hierarchy.
Yeah.
There was
same
never
with
like.
me.
I feel like a common theme is a lot of white families. There's not a lot of hierarchy. Everyone's just a family member. Whereas like in black families, there's like a parent and a child.
No, there is a hierarchy. It's just softer.
There's a softer edge where you can call your mom a bitch.
No, I would never do that. I would never do that.
Would you yell at her?
No, because my stepdad would beat my ass.
Because my stepdad would.
But I could also talk about like smoking pot and like having sex with girls and like porn and like all that with my parents. But there's also a level of respect.
I would never do it on my computer.
Yeah. Oh, it's a private browser all the time. But yeah,
Incognito mode.
exactly.
She
Yeah.
knows.
Yeah.
She knows. So, favorite type of porn?
Whoa, I went. It's off limits, man. We can't
Is
talk about
it?
our job.
Who
We're gonna talk about
cares?
porn.
We were just gonna.
Oh my god. I'll answer the question. Lesbian porn.
Lesbian porn.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't scoff. The fuck?
It's like, what are we? A
No,
job
no.
order?
no. Because let me
No girls do
Okay.
like
let me
girl on
lay
girl.
down the law. I feel like you guys already know this because I've talked to a lot of guys about this. Girls don't want to watch another girl get her back broken by some dude who has like a biologically unsound penis.
You're gonna speak about every woman,
no,
And
I
every
won't.
penis.
but most girls.
But most
would say that-
girls, like the girls that I've talked to, my friends, like when we talk about this, it's always like, yeah, it's because like I just don't really want to watch a girl get like rammed. Like it's just not to me. To me, it's like not the best.
So, what's the appeal of lesbian porn?
Because you know that they're both in it to win it.
Well, there is like woman-directed porn where it's like more realistic.
Right.
Is there anything like
this
that?
is what there's either one side of the spectrum where girls are super into like gangbang porn, and I guess there's
That's
the other
true.
side.
Choking
Yeah,
and
and I'm
slapping
not.
and shit.
Yeah.
Right. And then there's the other side where it's lesbian.
I don't watch it like all the time though. Like I'm not someone that like frequents it, so I don't have like a collection. Like you know what I mean? Like that's just
So your
never-
threshold's already low. For like you don't need like I feel like the people who need like the gagging and like the spitting and all that like they're always watching it so they need
They've
like a
dug
higher
deeper.
threshold to get there.
Yeah,
But like
I think you can like those things, but not like have to watch
Porn a
porn.
bunch.
Yeah.
nah. I'm just kidding. I'm just gonna speak for everyone.
No, that's why I
Oh
like
my
this.
god, no. This is getting deep real fast.
But you said your parents are cool. You're from Colorado, right? Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Boulder,
Boulder.
Colorado.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are your parents still together? Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's a good example.
Yeah.
Of
They
like
smoke
a
weed.
healthy home.
Can you say that?
Yeah,
like,
well,
cool?
not like actively right now, but my mom like was.
They're not high right now?
No,
Okay.
surprisingly not. My mom is more of like an edible fan. Like she's not really into smoking. She's more of like the gummies.
She does not inhale. She's the Clinton method.
Yeah,
Clinton.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
But no, when we were in Colorado, my parents like they weren't like going and buying weed. Like if anything, they were telling me to like not smoke as much because they're not against it, but they're just like, hey, like watch yourself.
Yeah.
Watch yourself.
So you moved from Colorado to Florida. I feel like we went over this, but when?
December of 2018.
Oh shit, you've been here for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
2 years?
Almost 2 years, yeah.
That's not a while.
That's enough to know the lay of the
like
land.
at this age, yeah, because I lived in
know where
Colorado
Orange
Springs
Park
for
is?
like, yeah.
Okay. You've been here a while.
Okay.
Why is
been on the
Orange,
interstate.
2
Orange
years doesn't
Park is
feel like
like
a
the
long
marker
time.
of whether or
Yeah,
not
I
you're
don't
a
know.
You know where
North
Arlington is?
Florida? No.
You know,
Jacksonville's so big though.
Yeah, Jacksonville is. I did not think it was that big until I went like over the river, and I was like, oh,
Yeah, it's an hour
That's
to
like
get through
it's
town.
like Jacksonville's like the penises on porn. You know what I mean? It's extremely big.
Yeah.
It's obnoxiously big almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like unfathomably, impossibly big.
he's
Yeah.
just gonna keep going until one of us is
Okay.
like,
Gotta
Well, but
crack. Gotta crack.
Sometimes you have to appease them and then we'll move on.
yeah,
Gotta
yeah.
indulge.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
good, dude. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Anyways, so like, how is Florida in your eyes? Like, is it the crazy memes you see? Is
Florida
it
man?
that?
Well,
still?
I grew up going back and forth to Miami because that's where I was born.
Oh.
So, like, I have a very Latin family. So they're all down. There's like, 16 family members
Cuban?
in one house. No, Argentinian.
Argentina.
Yeah, like
Messy.
classy
Messy.
Latinos. Classy Latinos.
Messy, right? Messy. No, not messy.
No,
Messy,
no.
okay.
I would
Lionel?
associate messy Latinos more with like Central America.
But doesn't he play for Argentina?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not into that. No, I'm not. Like, if you ask me, like, no, I'm not. I'm not.
You're not that Latino. You're not that Spanish. You're not.
That I know about soccer.
Yeah.
No,
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you play any sports growing up, or
Trying to
just
get to know
dance?
you.
I danced my whole life.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
What kind of dance though? Whenever girls say that, my mind goes into so many different
It
ways.
goes to one thing.
You're gonna think what, ballet?
Ballet or like hip hop. Like.
Yeah, I was on a hip hop crew.
Oh yeah. Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it right around the time when? Fuck. What was the MTV show?
America's Best
So you
Dance
think you
Crew.
can dance? Oh.
That's
Yeah.
the one. That's the
Yeah.
one.
We never. I mean, we weren't that good. Like, we toured around places. Like, we went to.
You ever do a basketball show?
No. Well, in high school, but not like.
But like a NBA or like
No,
a
no,
halftime.
no, no,
okay.
not like that. Because those are reserved for, like, I can't remember what the league is called, but what like the dancers that dance for the NBA, like the Nugget girls
Oh, true,
or
true.
like
That
the
makes
whatever.
sense. Yeah, the dance teams.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever.
the dance team. No, we did like shows and showcases, and we competed, and we went to like conventions where you audition for stuff, and it was cool. But I was never really into like I never thought I was gonna make it as a dancer.
Did you make any money?
Yeah, we made money, but it, like as a crew, so we'd get paid, and then
split
it
it
got
30
split
different
up.
ways.
Yeah, like
What was the
25 ways.
most you ever made from one show
Oh
or
God,
event?
I don't know, maybe like $500. Like nothing
that's pretty
like
good.
yeah, but
That's
then
pretty
you
good,
think
though.
about like
The time
it
and
goes
travel.
back into the crew because then it's like okay, like we have to pay for like renting a studio space to
So what
practice.
did you really get back at? Like $350?
I never saw any money. Like I never saw any like no one like was like, "Hey Morgan, here's your cut." It was just, "Hey, here's a pair of
for the
Nike
team.
Roshis."
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Or like, "Here's a pair of Adidas pants." Like that was, you know what I mean?
Dancer. Wow.
I know, it's really exciting.
What would you have gone like from Colorado? Like where would you have gone
Denver to
to ma-
dance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like Denver was like where everything was. Like I spent so much money driving from Boulder to Denver and back just to like rehearse and like
No, but
do-
like after like what would be the ultimate goal to make
Oh.
money as a dancer? Like
move to
being
LA,
like
get
okay,
a part
yeah.
of an agency,
Be in
start
videos and shit?
auditioning. Yeah,
Like
it's-
videos and...
Like I taught dance, like I made money off of being a choreographer and like teaching dance teams and that kind of shit, but
Yeah.
it wasn't like satisfying to me.
I know a couple girls in LA teaching dance.
Yeah, and it's
doing
fun.
doing big things.
Do comedy for like 2 more years and then just teach comedy, make money doing that. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Why not?
Huh?
Why not?
You want to teach comedy?
No.
Yeah.
Somebody taught her comedy.
True. You did go to a class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
But he had a whole career before, so he did the damn thing, and then he was like, "All right,
Oh, the
like, I'm
teacher?
gonna settle down." Yeah, because he's
Okay.
had that studio for 3 years.
It is
It's not
cool.
like he's been
Yeah.
doing
It's-
it.
Shout
Yeah.
out Creative
I haven't
Veins.
been there in a while, but Zach said it was way different, and it sounds
Oh,
legit.
really?
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Well, I've never
Okay.
been to the one before, so I don't know
okay.
how different it was.
Well, yeah, it sounded like a production. The one before was usually sign up like 5 minutes before. And they call
Oh
your name
yeah,
up.
this is definitely like they make you sign up a day in advance.
Yeah.
Like you have to, yeah.
That's the shit I like though. Like 5 minutes before, it's like at a bar. It's like a little rowdy. There's people yelling and shit.
You have
Like-
to like silence everyone with one good joke,
Shantytown.
and then they'll start paying attention.
Yeah, or just completely melt down. It's so much fun.
Really? Yeah. I feel like you would do that.
Yeah.
I feel like you'd be on the
Listen
mic
to
like,
me.
"Hi, people. If you're not gonna listen to me, I'm gonna get on the stage."
No, not that. Just like mean. Like
Oh,
no
that's good.
smiling. Like everyone's like, is he okay? Yeah. But it's
Oh,
fun.
I'd pay to see that.
You know? Yeah,
Most
Shantytown.
people
I
do.
can't wait for that to come back. You gotta go.
What is it called?
Shantytown?
Shantytown. It's in Murray. No, Springfield.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that Jacksonville?
In
It's
Jacksonville.
North
You got
downtown
it.
in Jacksonville. But it was a quaint little room. Just rowdy enough. Just enough people paid attention. Maybe like 20, 30 people. And
Have you had to deal with hecklers yet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Not like, anything
fun,
bad.
nice hecklers or like mean?
There was a guy that like I made a bunch of Jaguars jokes, and I asked before I started, I'm like, "Are there any Jaguars fans in here?" And no one said anything. And then I started like shitting on the Jaguars, and he was like, "Hey,
I'm a fan now.
Like he he got all and he got upset, and it was enough to where it was like it was at the CBD cafe that
oh, beautiful. So he's right in your face.
it was one so it's like he kind of silenced the room because it's like a small cafe.
That's not good.
Other than that, not really. I mean, usually
What's
it's just
the worst show you've ever had?
well, they're not really shows, they're like open mics. I mean, I've
No, where you
gone-
felt it, where you're like, I'm
yeah,
eating
yeah,
shit right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a bomb.
You're like, I've never had a bad one. Never.
No, I'm just thinking because like I go to this place called Trade Winds, and it's like this old ass Florida bar. Like literally no one under the age of 40.
Sounds like a
goes in
condo
there.
association.
Honestly, yeah.
Condominiums.
Yeah. But the only reason I go there is because the guy that plays like a 3-hour set on his like guitar, he knows me, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to do comedy while I take a break?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not?" And I like get up there and I'm like talking about like being young and being on Tinder and like dating guys, and all of these old people are like, "What the fuck?" And no one laughed.
Wait a minute. So he was playing guitar for like an hour,
Mm-hmm.
playing some covers and whatever. And then he was like, hey, you guys want to hear some comedy? I'm
Yep.
about to go take a shit. And then
He
you
went
did
outside
comedy?
to go smoke, and then I did comedy for like
There
10
was
minutes.
no other people doing comedy. It was
Nope.
just you?
Nope.
Wow. Balls.
He would never do that.
I would never
Why?
do that.
I don't know.
It's just set and setting. It's like doing drugs. Like it
But
has to
here's
be in
the
the right
thing, though.
place
Here's the thing,
and
though,
time.
is like the first time I went, like no one was expecting it, but it was really good because like I don't know what the energy, like it just happened that there was maybe more young people in there that week, or I had
Yeah.
better jokes, whatever it was, and it went really well. So the next time I went, the show didn't go as well, but people were excited to see me again. They were like, "Oh, you were the comic from last week. Like you're really good." Like,
Yeah, that's cool.
which was a stretch because I wasn't like.
Now here's the thing. Do you have a tip jar?
No. I wish I did though.
Now that's what you
I,
do.
I looked in their tip jar and I was like, "What we got in here?"
What are we working
And
with?
the guy Joe was like,
or
"You
you
can't
try
take
to
anything."
you try to host it, like start it out from like the beginning. Maybe get like a couple acts in between.
Yeah.
Shoot
You
yeah.
some
get
jokes
good so
off.
fast hosting. You get so good so fast.
So hard though. Yeah.
I know, because I couldn't come
hard.
up with like a unique intro for everyone
It's
without saying, here, next up, the very funny.
you just
Zach
find one
Malcolm
thing
place.
in their set that's off, and
You
then
gotta lie
roast
every
them
time?
about it, and then you go into one of your
Oh.
bits,
Yeah.
and then
Give us the master class in hosting. Tell me.
Yeah.
all you really need is one joke in between each set.
Oh yeah. One little
You-
riff.
Yeah, one little riff. You go up, you do your little like 2 minutes, introduce the first person, they do something, riff on their joke, little joke, next person. Just do that the whole show.
Yeah.
Boom. You're making new material as you go through. You're practicing where your jokes need to go and where they don't need to go.
Yep.
And then you just get better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anime style.
Mm.
Did you watch
I
anime?
don't know what that means.
No.
Good.
I think I watched Spirited Away and I was like, yeah, that's about it for me.
All right.
Don't know what that is.
Ghibli.
And I'm proud of myself. for not
Ghibli
knowing that.
Productions.
It's a good one, though. It's a good
It's a
one.
decent. It's like a classic.
It's just, yeah.
What
it's
is the
long.
one where it was like a magical pig in the forest?
That's a Ghibli production.
Is it Okja? Okja?
Oh no, that's a digital. That's a movie.
I think that's like
Oh,
a Disney
all right.
movie.
That's like
I was like, I'd watch that,
It's
but
like
that's
a
not anime.
DreamWorks
Never mind.
animation.
Yeah. Okay.
Moving on.
Appreciate that.
What do you want to talk about on stage? What do you want to Like whenever you go up, I know you're trying to be funny, but like, do you
Right.
want people to know about you? Or do you just want to be funny? Do you just want to have jokes? Or
I'm
do you
still
wanna...
learning how to do that. I'm still learning, like, a phrase that I've heard among comics is like find your voice, which I didn't know what that meant at first, but now I understand, like, people have different voices, meaning they use different, like, inflections at certain times that they repeat or they, like, make fun of. Like, there was this one guy I saw that his thing was, like, imitating people, and that was, like, his voice. But for me, I'm still finding, like, how do I talk? You know, because I can talk to you guys, but when I'm on stage, I feel like I have a different presence, and I'm trying to work on, like...
You have a very
natural.
performative...
Right, and I
like-
hate that about myself. I hate that I'm like that, because I've been told I come off as, like, disingenuous.
No, that's haters. I feel like you skip a lot of the nervousness from being approachable. Because you already have the entertaining energy, like, you don't have to buy in as much. Like, you already have people's attention. Whereas, like, someone who's just kind of dull and is about to rant on stage, like,
Yeah.
they don't even have my attention
Yeah.
anyway. I feel like it definitely helps you more than it hurts you. But I feel like finding your voice would be more like, I did this one show where the theme of the show was to do comedy in another person's, like, theme. So, like, do your set, like Dave Chappelle would do your set. Or, like, do your set, like,
cool.
Kevin Hart would do your set. So, like, I feel like that's what... Like, they have their own style and approach.
Right, like
and-
it's like how they say a punchline or when they're
Yeah.
walking on stage, what their body movement is.
Or even just what they're talking about, like their subject
Yeah,
matter.
yeah.
Like a lot of people will just have one-liners, and like you don't know anything about the person, but like you know kind of who they are through how they filter their jokes or whatever. So like that's their voice. But a lot of people put everything about them on stage too. So I don't know if like you were ever trying to go...
Yeah,
Or just-
I'm like super open. Like, I feel like the first stuff that I ever started writing about was pretty, I mean, like, literally about like my dating life and how weird it is to be 24 and have online dating apps, like,
Yeah.
and like being a
Sure.
millennial and being a girl, like, just going through life and figuring out like where you fit in the world.
Being in a new city too, you can talk about that more.
Yeah. I did a few like Colorado jokes here and there, and it's hard because I'm still figuring out like how do you make something relatable to someone that doesn't necessarily know what you're talking about.
You're talking to the right guys.
Really? Yeah. Like when I
Well-
talk about being Hispanic, like there are a few people that like really get it. Like they're like, yeah, like I identify with that, and then there are a few people that are like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
So it's just finding it.
A good thing I heard lately or recently, this guy Ron Funches, he's a comedian. He started talking about how he writes and how he approaches things, and he approaches everything like 3 angles, which is like, what do I love about it, what do I hate about it, and what scares me about it. So you can take that and like, what scares you about being Latina?
Well,
Like getting pregnant or
stabbing someone in broad daylight and
broad
getting
daylight.
caught.
no more chorizo?
That was good. I didn't know where it was going with it, but that was good.
No, I'm scared because I'm almost like a fake Latina because I speak Spanish, but I'm not fluent. Like I feel like I'm like ashamed to like.
Two
Do you know,
Hablas?
do you know how to bachata or salsa or?
I don't like if you ask me to do it right now, no, but I know like the general steps.
Okay.
Okay.
It's pronounced bachata, by the way.
Bachata.
Bachata.
I only know how to do that one in salsa. I don't fucking know, dude. I've been to Aromas a few times. Shout out to Aromas. That's like a Latin salsa dance club.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, pretty sick.
I would love to go
Check
to
it out.
that. Like
It's
I
pretty
feel like
sick.
I'd pick it up pretty quickly.
It's pretty sick. It's a good
awesome.
time.
Yeah. What do you love about being Latina? Latinx? Is that what we're supposed to say now? Latina?
No, I mean
Axe.
I don't know.
That's a stretch.
I like that I just like have a little bit of a different perspective on things, like because I grew up in a family that had very like not rigid but specific traditions for like different holidays, and I wasn't like a church goer, but we did certain things different, so it's like fun to be different.
Did you have a piñata?
That's Mexican, but no.
You should have waited till you looked to be like that till after. Got it in that.
Oh my god.
Oh, I didn't know that was just Mexican. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Oh my god. All right.
What do you hate about being Latina?
Latina. I feel like I'm getting like
This is a very important interview.
it is, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not that interesting
guess.
though. What do I?
We
What
can
do I?
pull
What
the
do you ask?
interesting
What do you hate about
What do I hate about
Latinos?
I hate
Because
that.
I can go on.
I hate
No, I'm
that
just kidding.
people think that I'm crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a very don't look at me like that
That's the
because
weirdest
because
way of
when
putting you being crazy.
because when guys like realize that you're Latina, they think that you are gonna be like
Yeah.
So they
stab
make you
someone.
crazy?
Like, no, I mean they're like, of course there are guys that make me crazy because they're douchebags.
Yeah, guys make you crazy. That's probably it.
That makes
But like,
sense.
I hate you.
I mean, guys usually make Latinos crazy.
But I hate that. But they assume that just because I come from a Latin family that I'm like gonna be on their ass all the time. Like I'm not like that. I don't. It's not that I.
See, I don't assume that at all with anyone.
That's
I don't know,
just
it's
been my
weird.
experience.
I don't judge at all. I don't.
You're so perfect, Zach.
He is also on Tinder and
Congratulations.
Hinge.
I'm not
If,
on either of those. I don't even know what Hinge is. What is that? That's a new one.
You're lying.
I
Stop
swear to God,
lying.
He's lying.
I'm not on any dating app.
You're also lying.
I'm also
Why are you
not. I even
fronting on
wrote
your
down
own
Hinge.
podcast?
I wrote down Hinge because I
You wrote down.
want to know what it is.
I think Dean should explain it. I think he
Are you on
probably has
Hinge?
enough experience.
I know about all these things.
Are you on
No,
it?
I'm not on these things. I
Right
used to be.
now.
Though. I used to be.
Okay, Hinge. Okay.
Hinge is like Tinder. Well, you know what Bumble is?
Yeah.
Okay. Tinder's here.
Mm-hmm.
Bumble's a little bit above. Hinge is like a lot above Bumble. But it's only because Hinge is like the LinkedIn of Instagram.
Okay.
Of dating apps.
Of dating
Of
apps.
dating apps.
Okay.
Yes, of dating
all right.
apps.
Okay.
It's just a little bit.
Is it one of those?
You
Where,
have to
Crisper.
put more effort into it.
Right.
do you have to
a little
like
bit.
put like a resume up or?
I wish. No, you
Do
have
they
to
post your
answer-
credit score?
You have to answer 3 questions about yourself.
Okay.
And you choose between like maybe 20 questions. And then you have to put they like require you to put so many pictures. So it's more of like a vetting process.
Okay.
And then you can put in things like your height, your spiritual beliefs, your political beliefs. Like so it
How do you
filters
feel about all that
through.
information up front?
For me personally, I think it's important, but I don't use online dating apps anymore because I need to know, like, especially being in Florida, like if I meet a guy and he's like conservative as fuck, I'm like, no, I'm absolutely
Really?
not. Yeah,
I used to have
absolutely
a bit
not.
about this, but I've never.
Is Denver blue or red?
Oh, Denver is super blue. Colorado is a swing state
Oh, yeah, it would
technically,
make sense,
but
yeah.
but Boulder and Denver are both very very liberal.
Okay. Okay, so you have to know whether he's a Virgo or a Pisces or something?
No, I don't give a shit about
All
that.
right.
But for me, like that, just because of the time that we're in right now, like I can't deal with someone that's.
What if he's a
like-
conservative, but he's like, I think Trump's an idiot?
That's fine.
What if he's into Trump but he likes lesbian porn?
No.
That's the Venn
God.
diagram that
That's
you
a-
could fit in the middle of.
There's a slice in there that.
Damn.
I get shit for that a lot because people think like, why do you care so much about someone's political views? And it's like, there's a difference between political views and moral values. Like, I don't care
Name of the
what you think
episode.
about taxation. I don't care what you think about foreign policy or healthcare. Like,
So
but
what's
it's
the
about
most
like,
important question to ask on a first date? Most important question up front. Is this going anywhere?
Can't
What's
ask
the
one because one might
No,
lead to
I don't
another.
know.
it's the moral question that's.
I have a pretty bad dating hit. You're asking the wrong girl.
Do you have a micro penis?
I'm not going to answer
Question
honestly.
2.
You never get an
You-
honest answer when you ask
Yeah.
that question.
Yeah, Zach, right?
You just tell everyone you have one.
And then she's always surprised.
Yeah.
thought
It's a
you
pleasant
said-
surprise.
Y'all are dumb.
So just because he's a conservative, you think he's morally corrupt or bankrupt, and you're like, nah,
No,
playa.
but a lot of things mean conservative. What's the question?
Okay,
It's
so-
like, do
so-
you hate black people?
Right.
Or is it
that's the thing
what's
to
the,
me because I have dated guys that are conservative. Maybe that's the wrong word to use. Like they're conservative and they're like I said, like taxing like policies that are more governmental.
Right.
But now we're in this time where identifying as conservative or red or Republican or right or whatever you want
Means
to
a lot
call it
more.
means a lot more. So to me, it's like, I don't care what you think about those policies, but I care what you think about like equal rights and like the LGBTQ community and black people and
So that
Hispanic
needs to be
people
on the-
and
on
so,
the profile.
So by you
Yeah.
putting it out there, like front forward, it lets you know that, hey, I don't align in these ways, like as far as like Black Lives Matter or Queer Lives Matter. Like I know you already don't like that because you're putting this out there.
Yeah, I mean, you can't tell from just
It's not helping.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if someone lists themselves on, again, I'm not on these dating apps and I haven't been for a long time, but when I was and I saw that someone was conservative, it didn't mean that I threw them out completely,
But it
but
doesn't
at
help.
least gave me an idea of like, hey, this person may not appreciate my view on things, which
That's
is
fair.
fine, but
That's
like,
fair.
Yeah, I'm just like a huge, not fan of, I don't know how to phrase this, but like I think people, like they can have completely different ideologies, but still day to day, like interpersonal like interaction could work. Like they gel somehow. Like there's like nuances, and I feel like you lose that with dating apps. Like I'll swipe left because you're a Trump supporter, or you're, I don't know, you took a picture at the Grand Canyon.
would you date a girl who, without a doubt, like was like, Black lives do not matter, all lives matter, blue lives matter? Like, would you date a girl like that?
does
I don't
she
think anyone
do?
says that.
But there are people like we
Of course
are
I
in North
wouldn't.
Florida.
I mean, but what else does she do? Because I mean, there's
If she just said all lives matter,
there's genuine
no, I don't care.
factors that maybe there's just like a project. Maybe we can get her mind changed. Maybe she's a great person, tells good jokes,
I don't
cooks
have that
well.
patience.
Like, and then all of a sudden we change the life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we let a lot in with dating apps because you get to meet new people across town or whatever, like that you wouldn't have met if you just went to a bar. But also, we eliminate people really quick.
But I
Right,
feel like
yeah.
it's different for guys and girls. For guys, you just meet a lot of girls. For girls, it's like I'm not trying to just meet all these random guys.
Yeah.
There's a lot of just problem
There's a lot
guys
that
out
goes
there.
into it.
Yeah.
Whereas like, I guess a girl would definitely want to know more than a guy would just like, awesome, these pics are cool.
Yeah.
And
Did a conservative tell you weren't funny? Is that the guy?
No, he was pretty liberal.
Okay.
would have been a good one.
Yeah.
Would've been a good one.
Yeah, no.
There
no.
it is.
But he was also like the kind of dude that like posted himself shirtless on Instagram, like on top of
Chaz.
his Jeep. Like,
How did you meet this guy?
Hinge.
What was the
Right.
question that got you?
What do you mean? Like where? Well,
Like, what was the put him over there? Like, I'm going with Chaz.
oh.
Fucking Chaz,
I have this. I'm like, I feel like I'm kind of shallow at first because I'm really into like Latin guys who are really tall and like have tattoos. Like that's like my. I have a very type, and it's bad because I
Okay.
need to get away.
2 out of 3 are
from
red
it.
flags, but it's okay.
Exactly. But like when I met him, it was just he was a very nice person at first. He was very genuine. Like he asked me about my life.
Don't
like
you know
it
how
was,
dating works? Everyone's nice at first,
Right, but
and then
I obviously don't know how to pick them.
and then Chaz got Chaz.
Yeah, he took me on this really great date. Like he
Yeah, what was the
surprised
first
me
date?
with wine. Like he
Try to get you drunk, first of all.
no, we didn't. No,
That's statutory.
we went to.
And-
Have you guys ever been to Sarbez in
Yes.
St. Augustine?
Yes.
So
Good comedy there.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know they had
comedy night,
at the
yeah.
open mic nights.
they used to.
Yeah, they don't do them anymore.
Yeah.
I love Sarbez. It's
Yeah,
super cool.
legit.
Went there, grilled cheese, played some games, super cool, whatever. He like ordered a bottle of wine from the bar without like telling me, so he like snuck it, and then when we were outside, he like showed it to me, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. I don't like wine.
First date?
Yeah, and then I don't like wine.
Oh
And then we went to his Jeep, and he took off the roof of his Jeep, and he remembered
That's
that I
nice.
like the stars, and so he took me into the middle of this field. It was like pitch black outside, and we looked at the stars with this bottle of wine on top of the roof of his Jeep.
That's pretty romantic.
Chaz,
Yeah.
Chaz, dude,
Hey,
first
Chaz.
date?
I'd fuck Chaz.
I hate
you're
that
getting a kiss from
this
me.
dude is getting so much attention.
What's up? Hey,
no.
can we tag him?
No, we're not
Hey,
fucking tagging
all
him.
all I'm saying is Chaz for a first date. It's a little over the top, but I feel like it's the over the top.
I'm not helping promote
They're
this
really
podcast
sweet.
anywhere.
It swept you though, didn't it?
I think it's adorable. So
It
keep
swept
going.
you.
But yes, it did. But what happened afterwards was like we were FaceTiming one night, and
That's always a young person move. It's a good move too.
yeah, like you're not young.
I mean,
I just missed the FaceTime era. Like I don't.
FaceTime is just like, what are we doing
I'd rather
on the phone this long?
FaceTime. Oh, I'd rather FaceTime than like text all day. I'm not into that.
Yeah, but what are we really talking about?
I mean, we were getting to know each other because we've only
well,
been
you're-
on one date.
Right, for sure. After a while, it's like boom, 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 boom. We're
Yeah,
done.
no.
Okay.
But I had like said something about like I'm and like then he
I remembered you were sassy, so.
and he was and he goes
Got you this
you
book."
only call yourself sassy because it's a nicer way of saying you're a bitch.
Jesus,
Ew.
Jazz.
Yeah, and then we got into the whole comedy. He's like, I don't think you're that funny. Like, I don't think you could do it. And then I like on
What
the
were
face-
Jazz's dreams? Do you ever shit on those? What do you want to do? With
He
his
was
life?
a personal trainer. Did
hot.
fitness. Yeah.
Online.
No, I mean, he did.
Zoom trainer.
Yeah, I guess. I don't really know. I don't know how he was doing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on. I don't want to talk
Yeah,
to this guy.
I feel like it's weird. What do we? Because we wouldn't ask like a guy about his relationship stuff, would we? Really?
No, you
I
just
would.
want to
I
hear
don't
me
give a
talk
shit.
shit.
Oh yeah, it is. Kind of
My thing is pulling
gossip is fun.
the juice out of all the guests. Everyone can have a normal interview, ask the regular questions. When you get famous, people are gonna ask you, "Hey, what'd you feel about your comedy?" But no, this
We're gonna
is
have
for
Chaz on next week, actually,
the juice.
to defend himself.
And then at the end of the season, we're gonna have you both, and we're gonna do a reunion episode.
Bottle of wine.
I hate that he has been such a part of my fucking comedy journey.
beautiful.
Like I haven't even talked to him in like.
I
3
feel like you
months.
should lean into that more. Like you should lean into that whole story and roast him the whole time.
I did. I mean, when he DM'd me, I was so like heated that I sat down at my computer and I wrote about it for a good hour. And I got some good jokes out of it. But it's one of those things I'm like, why do I care so much? Like, why does
So
this matter
primal.
to me?
Was it the wine or was it the stars?
That did it for
What
me?
was the thing that just like I don't fucking like this guy and then all of a
No,
sudden
no,
you
I
drove
really
into the
liked him
field
after
and you
the
were
first
like,
date. I did. I really did. But when he said that, when he started attacking my personality, I was like, that's not very nice. Like I don't want to be with someone who's like that. And then he kind of started to like blow me off a little bit, and I'm very like, I'm just not about that. Like I don't put up with bullshit ever, and I think that's probably why I've been single for so long, to be honest. But I just can't do it. I'm not into that.
Fair enough.
Like be straight up, or just don't even be straight.
Girls don't like straight up though either. They don't.
Are you speaking for all girls?
Yeah, you can't speak for all. Yeah,
Wait a
like
second.
If
Girls don't like straight up or straight down. Somewhere.
if
has
you're
to be curved.
if you're too honest with a girl though, it's kind of hurtful at times. Like, cause you can be like,
What are you saying that's hurting women?
No, here's the good point. How do you tell a girl she needs to lose weight?
You don't. The fuck? Like, what do you mean?
But what if she...
I would never tell a guy to lose weight. I would never tell a guy to change who he is.
You would never tell a guy like, hey,
But
do some
here's the-
push-ups.
If you're in a relationship with someone and you've been dating them for a year and you've noticed that maybe they gained some weight and you say something, okay. But if you're like, if you're just starting to date them,
Yeah, you don't.
would you ever
No, no,
want to go on a
absolutely
date
not.
with a girl
Absolutely
and
not.
she's
No,
like,
no,
hey,
no.
Zach, you're kind of fucking skinny.
Yeah.
Get
No,
it together.
no.
You know what I
Let's stop
mean?
talking about this.
Oh,
kidding.
see?
No,
So
but, like,
fun.
That's what I
In a-
think
in a
he
co-
means. That's what he means by too honest. Like, if you're in a relationship with someone, there's no way to be...
Yeah, but if
Not
you're
even
in,
that
if
point.
you're
I
in
meant-
a relationship,
I meant early on.
It's different. Yeah, see, early on.
Early
you
on,
can't-
when,
Yeah, but early on, you wouldn't even need to...
but there's a give and go early on. There's a point early on where someone's a little more involved than someone else,
Mm-hmm.
and you kind of have to take a step back at a certain point, and you can't be too honest. Like, I think you're a little more into this than I am,
Mm-hmm.
or vice versa. And
Why
like,
does that even need to be pointed out, though?
because sometimes you have to point it out. Like, you
That's
have to.
obvious.
It's sometimes it's not obvious.
Are you just getting like vagina thrown at you on
No.
a
He
constant
keeps a
daily
stick in
back?
his
Jesus
car.
Christ.
He does keep a stick in his car.
No, I'm just. It's
Poor
gonna
thing,
get
you
personal.
have
I don't
so
want to
many
get personal.
women that like
It's not
you.
even that.
Oh, it
It's
sucks.
just. I was maybe in the opposite way. Like, I was too into a girl and she wasn't feeling the same way back. She would never tell me. She would just politely stop talking to me, like this guy did to you.
Yeah.
Like, he's not gonna just say, "Hey, I don't think it's gonna work." It's gonna be kind of a dick and kind of like throw up this wall instead of just saying, "Hey, it was a fun time, but
Right.
I don't see
and
any
that
future."
sucks for anyone.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Maybe people need to get better at rejecting others.
Yeah, but it's hard.
It's really hard. It's
really hard.
I really struggle with rejecting people.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be a dick. No one wants to be like, hey, I don't like you. It's not fun to say.
And in the age of social media, they can just make up an entire narrative about
Yep.
how that just happened. So you're gonna look like a dick either way.
That's
We're not
the-
like famous, so it's not like that level. But
That's back on you then.
No.
If they make up a story about it, then that was bad judgment on the chooser's part.
right, yeah,
Like there should never have gotten to a point where there's stories being made up.
yeah. But you get what I'm saying though about like it's hard to let someone down. So people just
Yeah.
kind of like shut down and they like,
But I think that's different than telling a girl she needs to lose weight.
yeah, I don't know
like,
how I went there.
I feel like that's just the best example of just something very extreme.
If you
Yeah.
ever
How to
get-
say
if-
something hurtful without being mean.
I just
Yeah.
would never. I don't know.
How do you feel about fat shaming?
I don't think it's okay.
Yeah,
But you also okay. You want to get into this? We'll get into this.
This is the juice that
So I grew up in a city that has one of the highest rates in the country for eating disorders because it's one of the most fit places in America, but it's also one of the places that is the hardest for young women because we are constantly surrounded by like they do like Ironmans, there's
Like
like
CrossFit
marathon,
shit.
like Boulder is extremely active and it's dope and it's
Okay.
cool, but there's also a lot of women that suffer because of that and they feel like they have to be stick thin. They feel so. I grew up in that and I know what it's like to be like a curvy woman who doesn't look like everyone else.
And you're a dancer, and then there's like some of that in that.
And I
scene.
grew up staring at myself in the mirror and having to squeeze into a leotard for ballet class. And like, so I'm very on the side of like, your body is between you and your doctor. And like, if someone wants to hate on you, fuck them. That's how I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
Because sure, if someone's going to be like morbidly obese, and you're like, okay, this is too far. Like, okay, but like, let them deal with that. Like, you don't have to like go on the internet and tell.
No
you know
one's
what I mean?
Never
Like,
bully.
No
No,
one's
don't bully.
bullying.
Right.
No one's bullying.
Right.
But someone who maybe always complains about their weight or always complains about how they feel or certain, they don't get into a certain dating pool because of how they look. Like when you say to them like, oh, maybe try to like work on yourself a little bit. Like you would never say that. Would you ever, Dean?
I don't know.
I would say that.
Like to your friend, like, hey.
If
like,
they were my friend, I'd say, yo, like maybe you should just work on you. Maybe you should like try to be that person that
well,
you
because a
want to
lot
be.
of the time it's not really even about like if it was that situation, it's like maybe not even really about their weight, and it's about them feeling like they have to constantly complain about themselves.
yeah, true.
Right.
Because no matter what size you are, no matter what you look like, no matter what you do in life, if you are confident and you exude good energy, people will be attracted to you, even if it's not in like a, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Would you
You're
ever
right.
tell someone they're not funny?
A comedian?
Ever? Anyone?
Yeah, I've already
You
told
tell a
people
comedian
that.
they're not
You
funny?
tell-
I don't say you're not funny. I say, hey, maybe work on that joke a little bit, because they're my friends.
Okay.
And then they tell me, hey, yeah, you kind of suck. Like it.
Yeah.
But that's how I am.
Would you ever take constructive criticism from someone who didn't know you?
I would just take it and then I would just say thank you and forget about it. I wouldn't be a dick.
What about you?
Depends on who they are. Yeah.
They don't know you. Random audience member comes up and says, yo, I don't think you're very funny.
Yeah, but people do that all the time.
Yeah, whatever.
Do they?
Yeah, like I feel like people have come up to me that are just like, it's usually obviously at an open mic and they're like, hey, like you should talk about this, and I'm like, yeah, cool, thanks. And I get in my
that's
car and I'm like,
different.
fuck that person. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, but I've never really like gone up to someone after a show and said, hey, you sucked, or like you're not funny.
Yeah, I'm not
They'll
a sociopath.
ask me like, hey, what do you think? Yeah,
Yeah. I would never do that, but I would talk shit.
of course.
Yeah. Of duh.
But
yeah.
that's our like scene. Like especially if you're close with the people that you're like working. I don't know. I feel like I've like developed a little bit of a network at Creative Veins
For
where we
sure.
all kind of talk shit about each other.
Roast 'em.
Yeah, but it's like fun. I don't know.
It's so hard though. Like I can't almost. Like I can with Dean. Dean, you're like the only person I talk shit about other people with, and I feel like you don't talk shit about a lot of other people. But like I have like one or two people where like I do sling a little mud. But like, remember
Selling a
Creative
little
Veins?
mud. Yeah. I know.
This
You
is
like
Florida.
shut down.
I was like, I can't do this. Like they were
Yeah.
talking about another host, or one of our comedy co-workers,
Peers,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, I was talking about like a host of another show, and like I couldn't join in because like
Yeah.
I don't know the guy first of all, and second of all, like it's just gonna make things worse
Right.
for me
right.
later. I don't know. I don't get it.
I'm all about keeping the peace in the comedy community. I don't think it's.
Yeah.
Shake that motherfucker up.
You talk shit on Facebook. I was about to say you don't talk shit, but you did.
Sometimes I be getting bored on Facebook, and I just
Yeah.
be,
Damn.
I just be picking.
But
at
you like
people.
call people out.
I
Like,
don't
you
call
name
no,
names?
I don't call people.
Picks
out
on
of names,
girls,
man.
women.
No, I pick on guys and girls. I just pick on people who are pickable.
Okay.
I mean, if you like,
I just
there's-
think
if
we
there
should
are
all
holes
support
to be,
each
If there are
other.
holes to be plugged, I'm trying to plug your holes. That's all I'm trying to say.
Ooh,
Not in the
Kinda
best
coulda
way.
gone my
In
whole
the best
life
way, like,
without that metaphor.
You know what I mean? There's some holes in your logic that just don't make sense, and I'm there to make sure that we can patch that up.
You're here to right the world.
I'm not here to right the world. I'm just here to.
Complain on Facebook.
I'm here to row the ship,
Yeah.
not from the bottom, but from the from the top.
Okay. I don't know.
All I'm saying is sometimes people need a little stir in the pot to shake things. I don't know, just to change things up. Different
Yeah.
perspective.
I just don't want to hurt anyone. Like hurting my someone's feelings is like my worst kind of like not fear, but I don't want to be an asshole. And I feel like I've been an asshole in the past. So I'm really trying not to be.
Yeah, but then you just come off as bland.
I know.
You got no flavor.
then
You
you
got no
just.
spice in your life.
But like, this is a perfect example. Like you'll be playing like Xbox or whatever, and I'll listen to you talk to like other guy friends and like razz them and like fuck with them. I feel like I can't do that with certain people because
Like when we go to Allen's, you can fuck with Alan.
I fuck with Alan because I know I can fuck with that certain guy.
But you can go places and fuck with people and see if they're fuck withable.
Yeah.
Like you can go and be like, hey, I'm gonna fuck with Ted for a second. All right, Ted doesn't like being fucked with. All right, not a fuck with.
But then he hates me
But I can
forever.
go to Romy and Jamar and like I can fuck with him, or I can go to fucking Brennan, I can fuck with him, or like you just have to make that.
Yeah.
Fuck with people.
So
I feel like the best kind of friends are the ones that you can like be very brutally, hurtfully honest with, but in the way that if they laugh about it, they'll still change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you roasted the fuck of me and like I need to get my hairline together. And like I'm really sad and you got me, but like I'm gonna go home and get my hairline together. Like, that's the kind of friends you need.
Is that how your girlfriends are? You and your girlfriends?
Yeah, actually, surprisingly, I don't really. I've finally found like a good group of friends down here. It took me a while, but I found some really good girlfriends, which I think is hard to find. And specifically, my friend Lauren and I, who you met.
Shout out to Lomo.
You both met her, Lomo.
Oh yeah, wild one.
She is one of the most savage people I have ever met. Like
Yeah?
she'll just straight up be like, "Fuck you, Morgan." Like she just, but I love it because we're exact. Like she's really short. And so I'm always like, oh, Lauren's already close to the ground. I'll just fucking kick her. And and it's funny because that's just how we are. But it's hard to find people like that.
Yeah.
I think.
For sure.
You can't go at them right away either.
No.
Maybe you
It comes
can.
up like in conversation. Like when we first met, it was very like, you know, we told each other about our life story, very girly, very like, oh my god, and then you finally get to a point where you're like,
And you told
she
her
came
about
to my
Chaz, and she was like,
she
"You
came to my
slut,"
comedy
and you're
show, and she she specifically during that situation, she told me I need to lighten the fuck up. We were sitting
Wow.
outside, and I was like, Chaz isn't texting me, and she's like, you need to chill the fuck out. So you need people like I need people like that in my life.
Okay.
I need tough love.
Real straight shooters.
Yeah.
Shout out to the straight shooters out there. There are a lot of mother hens. There's different dynamics of the group. You need a straight shooter.
Yeah.
What would you be if you were in the group of girls?
The stupid one.
The stupid one.
Like, I'm always the one that's, like, being the class clown.
You're the damsel.
The damsel. I don't
The
think
damsel
that
in
is
distress?
No.
That's the stupid one that trips over herself.
No. I don't mean. I mean, like, the one that, like, I'm, like, making jokes. Like, I'm being stupid.
funny one.
Like, the funny one. Yeah. Lauren's the mom.
And Sex in the Hill or Sex in the City, you're the funny one.
I didn't watch that.
You're not a Samantha. I don't think you're a Samantha. She's a whore.
I don't think you
How
needed to tell her that.
presumptuous of you.
Who she wasn't.
I'm trying to make this thing funny. It's a comedy podcast. We haven't had a laugh in forever. God damn.
Hot damn.
So what bad happened to you? Why do you want to do comedy? Why do you want to be in the spotlight?
Who hurt you?
Why do you want attention?
Why do you want us
I hate you guys.
Why do you want us to look at you?
Whose approval do you need? And
Why do you want us to care?
whose approval did you not get growing up?
Oh.
Was Daddy there?
Oh no, my
Don't
dad and I
say
have a great
daddy,
relationship. My dad and I have a great relationship.
Okay.
That's why I can make jokes about him on stage. 'cause
What about
he
your
thinks
mother?
It's funny.
A really good relationship.
My mom and I are super close, but she was a firefighter for 12 years. She was a triathlete. She was way more badass than like I ever will be. So
Well, you got time.
yeah.
What'd your dad do?
What did he? He was.
What does he do?
They're
the
retired now.
cars?
They're like older.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, he used to rebuild cars all the time. He worked in like public works. Like he worked for the government, and so everywhere we went, he had like a good job. I mean, it was like cool. But yeah, my mom is. My mom and I have always had like a weird relationship where like she wants like me to follow her footsteps in a way, but also like I was like I want to be a
Wait,
dancer.
what footsteps? Like firefighter footsteps or like triathlete
At one point,
footsteps, or,
yeah,
like,
no, yeah,
just be a badass
she, yeah,
overall?
like she, like
like be more badass. Morgan.
yeah, but I mean it's cool. Like she, like I'm very creative. Like that's why I like did dance or I like taught or like wrote or whatever it was. Like I'm always doing something creative. So I wouldn't say that I need my mom's approval. I just like comedy because I think it's funny. I mean, I think all of us like have a secret need to like want to be the center of attention. And it's
I
not a
don't.
bad thing. It's not that you like need people, but doesn't
If
it feel good
anybody
when
does-
people laugh at you? Like when you're up there and you make a good joke and people laugh, like doesn't that give you a
Mr.
little
Charged
bit of a high?
Up.
Yeah,
Anybody
exactly.
does
So
pretty
it's like
good.
it's not like I never like had any trauma growing up. Like I think I just am exploring a
That
new
you
path.
know about.
No, you just haven't found your trauma because everybody has the trauma. You know what I mean? There's always
Sure.
something. It's not big. It's not like everyone was touched by their uncle, but like maybe their older sister was always the better one, or maybe
Are you an only
the-
child?
No, I have a brother.
Okay.
Older or younger?
He's 9 months older than me.
9 months. That was it.
Damn, they got
As soon as it boop boop,
put one right back in
it
there.
is a
Wow, you gotta wait at least 6 weeks.
He's adopted, so.
Oh, there it is. There's the trauma.
Okay.
There's the trauma right there.
He took my shine.
He took it from me.
No.
You don't think so?
No, my mom had trouble getting pregnant. They adopted my brother. He was like, a gift from God. And then I was like the gift from Lucifer
Mistake.
2 weeks later. Yeah, I was the mistake. Yeah.
He
And
was the golden child.
literally, they celebrated. They're like, hey, like, babe, we got a baby. Like,
Is it a white baby?
Does
yeah.
he look better than you?
I mean, my brother's like
No,
good
but like
looking
if you
guy,
adopt
but
the child and it's better looking than your natural born child, doesn't that kind of put a little?
I mean, he has green eyes. Like he's white.
Green
he's-
eyes?
Yeah. He's a
This guy's
white,
Lucifer.
he's a white
Man,
baby.
I have green eyes. Like I literally have the same color.
you have trash brown.
Aw, no, you have green eyes.
Does he though?
Yeah.
There's like yeah.
Does he have green
They're
eyes like that, or does he
hazel.
have
They're
greener?
hazel.
No, he
does
has
he,
no, he
does
has
he
like
have
green eyes
greener
like
eye?
that. No,
I could be your brother.
I've
you never
I've
know.
never
You never know.
seen Zach and I'm like, damn, he has green eyes.
You never looked in my eyes that long, dude. It's fucked
I
up.
noticed him the first time I met him. I was like, oh,
Jesus.
this guy has green eyes.
Well. In the
An
podcast.
episode. But okay, is he like successful?
Yeah, he's in the
comedian?
Marines.
Oh, okay.
No, he's not a comedian. He's in the Marines.
Okay,
Yeah.
is he not funny?
He actually is like a pretty funny guy, I think. I mean, he just like
Who in your family is funny? Where do you get your funny from?
probably my mom.
Nice.
Like she's also very like she would call herself sassy for
Nice.
sure. But
Okay.
I don't know, I've always been really like I hate using the word funny because I don't know what else to like. I just used to talk shit and like say jokes all the time. Like I was the kid that always broke the tension in the family, and I think that's why I just kept with it. But I never thought that that would like propel me to do comedy. This was literally just something that I thought about and was like, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Fuck yeah.
All right. Well, we're about there. I don't know if you have any questions for us. If you have a message you wanna put out in the world peace.
I got a rapid fire round.
If you have a
okay.
let's
All
do
right.
it.
Fast. The first thing that comes to mind, you got to answer. It's going to be
Okay.
the favorite and your worst.
Okay.
All right. Favorite color.
Blue.
Food that you hate.
Fish.
Favorite movie.
The Little Mermaid.
Worst genre of music.
Country.
Favorite sport.
What are we doing here?
I don't like sports. Dancing.
I got it. By the way, you threw my flow off.
Oh, okay.
Just going to do a little rapid fire, get to
Oh,
know our
okay.
guest.
All right. Do you have
got
any?
anything for her?
Do you have any current events or anything you want to talk
Current
about?
events. Today is Monday. Tomorrow, Brews, Riverside.
I'll put this up tonight.
Wednesday, CBD Cafe. Saturday, CBD Cafe.
Thursday. Creative Veins.
Thursday, Creative Veins.
Got a full week.
Smorgasbord.
Yeah. Are you gonna be there?
Yes, I'm
Thursday?
going to all of
Okay.
these events.
Oh, you are? I thought
Hell
you work
yeah.
on Thursdays.
I got off this Thursday.
Nice. Okay, I guess I'll have to
all
go
of these
then.
events. Gonna try to come to the Saturday one. I get off around 9, so I'm gonna try to get there right after I go. Is there anything Friday? Anything?
Not that I know of.
Boom. Make
All
sure
right, guys.
that you click on that upper right hand.
Yeah, click on that subscribe right here, right above Morgan's head.
Yeah, should be.
Give Mama of Jokes a follow. Is that just on Instagram or is that
Instagram, TikTok.
okay? All that shit.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, please keep liking, sharing, subscribing, and as always, stay relatable.
You could have said it.
Stay relatable.
Do it again. Do it again. Damn it.
It's